There's been some chatter about where has ARTV been, what's going on behind the scenes, did something major happen to John? And I am here to address all of the questions, all of the allegations, addressing my past, present, and future. Hannah's going to be joining me off camera for most of it, and on the mic, and also on camera for a few. So as we go through all of the mini changes, both with me here on YouTube and my personal life, let's get into it. Oh, and by the way, we got a puppy. This is Suki.
First question, has your music taste evolved during your hiatus?
Yeah, I think that it's evolved and it's shifted. I made a video touring my Spotify library that you guys can check out on the channel if you haven't seen it yet, but there I dive into it a little bit more. I was tethered to the album for so long, listening for more than 15 years, feeling like I had to check out like every new release.
And you had to give an opinion or a review.
And
instantly.
It's like, after a while, I was the one putting the gun to my own head on that, essentially. It wasn't you guys, like, demanding reviews or anything like that, and I don't want anyone to feel guilty for wanting to know my opinion on something. I was the harshest critic on myself.
What have you learned about yourself so far in 2026?
I feel like I've learned a lot of things. I feel like I've had to learn a lot of things.
I feel like the first part of this year feels like a year in itself.
It really does, because, I mean, I'll be honest, guys, like, my rock bottom was early January. Like, I did not want to be here anymore. I needed to go, and I'm so glad that I've not only gotten help and, you know, beyond, like, therapy, seeing a psychiatrist, finding out more about myself, receiving some diagnoses that have made things make sense a little bit more. So I think that I've learned that I'm a lot more resilient than I thought I was.
Are most of your videos going to be positive reviews going forward? An example, less worseless or music gone wrong episodes?
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it's like I'm still a critically thinking music fan that's going to be like, all right, well, that was definitely a step down, and here's why, not just, you know, that sucks, or I hate that. It's probably going to be less worse lists and probably more like some best of lists.
You're not going to be going out of your way to review or talk about stuff that you know you don't like already. Whatever happened to Infinity on Hannah?
What did happen to her? I feel like I knew her in a past lifetime when she posted on YouTube.com.
I didn't realize anybody remembered.
Well, of course they remember. They remember you and they remember us. We've done a lot of videos together, and I know a lot of you have been asking and are like, are you and Hannah still in a relationship? How are you and Hannah? Is Hannah going to return to YouTube?
No.
That is a no.
If you didn't know, we got married in 2022.
We did.
We bought a house in 2021, so we're together.
Yes, we are still together, and I think you in particular really value your privacy.
Very much so.
So a lot of people are like, Hannah disappeared, and it's kind of by your own design.
It was intentional.
You're a designer, so it makes sense that this is by design. And last year, 2025, was just the year from hell. We had so much in terms of just like interpersonal stuff, family conflicts, friend drama. It was a
very rough, long last 12 months.
Yeah, 12 to 16 months, to be honest. But I think we both agree, you know, that we kind of had.
Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to bounce back, and I feel like we're bouncing back, so it feels good. Do you have any trips, holidays, or getaways coming up?
Yeah, we've got a birthday trip coming up for you, June. It's going to be kind of like a big family thing for you.
Yeah, like a bigger gathering, I guess, than I've ever done, like, for a vacation.
We're going to the beach with your cousin, your dad, your mom. It's just a bunch of families from a lot of different backgrounds coming together, and we're going to the beach, so it should be a blast. You and Hannah got me into Citizen/Run for Cover Records and all of those artists back in 2015, 2016. Any other bands or recommendations like that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite label ever still.
And I feel like they have a sound, even if they're not on the label, it's like that Run for Cover type sound. It's like an indie, but like grungy or like alternative music.
So good. Some of them, for me, Gleamer is a big one. We saw them live a couple months ago.
That was so good.
So underrated, but if you like that sound, they are spot on. I'd also recommend Fleshwater, Wisp, and pretty much anything that Will Yip has touched.
Yeah.
He is like my favorite producer. Just check out his catalog and you will not be let down.
I'm going to say Sweet Pill, Gouge Away, who we're seeing open for Tiger's Jaw, She's Green are a huge one. You know I'm hooked on them right now. We mentioned Wisp. You know, they did the Heaviside Citizen cover for the Everybody is Going to Heaven 10 years, so that was very cool. Anything else that you would like to just add in general? Okay.
What are some of your favorite shows or movies from the last 5 years?
Okay, past 5 years, going back to like 2020, 2021, movies, I'm going to say The Substance, Weapons, The Batman, and as a result of that, The Penguin. I'm definitely like, you know, we watch way more TV than we do movies. We watch a decent amount of movies too, but TV, Better Call Saul, Severance, The Pit, Jury Duty, Midnight Mass, Mare of Easttown, Dexter Resurrection. Are you kidding me? That was literally a perfect season of television. Did I say common side effects already?
I don't think so, but don't forget the Righteous
Gemstones. Absolutely a Gemstones fan. Huge Danny McBride fans over here. Louder Milk, The Rehearsal, Nathan Fielder's a goddamn genius. There's a lot of great stuff out there. In Succession.
What's an artist that you stopped listening to more recently and why?
So I'm going to go with Coldplay. I think that's a band that I just don't really seek out much anymore. And for a long time, I was like very into them. I was raised on their music in a way. Like I got into them at like 13 with X and Y.
Would you go see them?
I've already seen them. I saw them on the Milo tour in 2012, so I think I'm okay. I wouldn't want to get caught on the kiss cam either, you know. That would not be good.
Speaking of, what's the worst band you've ever seen live?
The worst band that I've ever seen live? I gotta go with Asking Alexandria. Last fall, 2025, Asking Alexandria is not what I needed in my life, but they were opening for Chevelle, and I've tried to see that band 3 times. That was my 3rd time trying, and guess what? Chevelle only played 3 songs that night. You wanna know why? Because fucking Asking Alexandria played their entire set where Danny Porkchop's just hopping around on stage going like this and fucking using the front row like it's his personal spittoon. He's dipping on stage and literally just lip syncing half the time, especially during the final episode.
Didn't they go country?
Yeah,
he just represents it somehow?
The man is from the UK, okay? Calm down, Danny.
Oh, come on. What are those cowboy boots all about? Favorite band that uses no clean vocals?
Death Heaven. I'm very picky when it comes to like screamed, growled vocals. There's some bands where it just doesn't make sense to me, or else when I look up the lyrics, I feel a disconnect there. It's the opposite with Death Heaven. I'm talking Sunbather, Ordinary Corrupt Human Love. These albums have fucking incredible lyrics. I was just telling you the other day, like some of the songs on Lonely People with Power literally make me cry, like the marvelous Orange Tree, shoegaze, black gaze, metal, combination of everything. So even if you don't think you would be into it, give them a chance.
Next, we got one from your buddy Common Revolt.
Hey, shout out to Tyler. Shout out Common Revolt.
What recommendations would you give to yourself and other creators re-burnout?
Slow down. Slow the hell down. It's the advice that my therapist gave me over and over and over
and
again.
Me?
And you. And really many people have told me just in more or less words to slow down, and it finally clicked for me earlier this year. And slowing down, just even intentionally making yourself slow down your motions, like I'm going to type 3 words per minute. I'm going to walk to the kitchen and intentionally take every step by step. It's stuff like that that leads you to giving yourself more self-care, because you see how little you're giving if you're just in the I'm trying to keep up with the algorithm, or if I don't post, everything will fall apart.
Go.
How long did I think that for, right?
10 years. So Nunez has a couple of questions, but we already talked about burnout, so I'm going to skip to the next one.
Okay.
What made you want to return to YouTube after the break?
That's what I was searching for so long, right? Was the answer to that question of like, what is the spark, or what is the inertia? Yeah, what's the point? My therapist brought something to the table and she was like, well, why don't you see yourself as more of an entertainer? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a music fan, but I'm also an entertainer, and I've always been that way.
Are we getting Lil Scarecrow? Where is he? Will there be a return?
I cannot comment on that, because I, of course, am not Lil Scarecrow. nor am I XX Brutal Swag 69XX. But
And you're not associated with either.
no, not anymore. I had to cut them both off, even though they both still live in the attic. I mean, I can't believe I let XX get a roommate, but like, we gotta pay these AC bills somehow, right?
Jay Ferrari asked, how has music affected or shaped your political views?
Music and politics have always been intertwined for me. And that started like day one when I set out like finding my own music when I was introduced to it by these skateboarding friends that I was hanging out with, and they were playing like Meteora and American Idiot. And American Idiot, obviously in particular, it made me challenge the worldviews that I had held up to that point. I see how important that was to my foundation because right away, like Holiday, a protest song right there, I didn't fully understand the lyrics at the time, but it made me think. And actually, you know, Jay Ferrari asked this question. Josh's music has that line walking ability, literally with songs like I Walk the Line, Dead of Night.
So everyone's dying to see all of your new tattoos. Can we get a tattoo tour? Can we get a bald head nail polish breakdown?
There's the bald head.
There's no nail polish on your head.
We got the nail polish tour right there. It's definitely a way that I've found that I've expressed myself a lot more in the past year and have become comfortable expressing myself in that way. And as far as the tattoo tour goes, I have been getting a decent amount of tattoos. I think I added like 12 last year. On the right arm, I'm not necessarily keeping it strictly like this, but there's more music stuff going on over there. Left arm, I've got more like, you know, movie. Like I've got Pokemon, I got Gengar, Courage the Cowardly Dog, I've got Terry McGinnis, I've got the Scream Knife, and Scott Pilgrim. And on the other arm, I've got like a Paramore butterfly, a Pierce the Veil tattoo, AFI, Chili Peppers, Magdalena Bay.
So on that topic, Stefan remembers that it took you a while to decide if you even wanted to get a tattoo in the first place.
Yeah, that was my parents talking.
Have you considered bringing back 7 on Sunday?
Yeah, I have, but it's not going to be 7 on Sunday anymore. But the good news is that it's keeping the SOS name, and it's now going to be something on Sunday. Not every Sunday, okay? And it's also going to be a lot more loose and fluid, like the other things in this new era of John from ARTV.
What is your fascination with flowers?
I love that question. I do have a fascination with flowers, don't I? Flowers represent the opposite of humanity to me. They have the resiliency to continue coming back, being beautiful. I wasn't allowed to show much color, right? Or have that, because literally, like, the people around me were so critical of anything effeminate whatsoever. And they're like, oh yeah, like even my dad, to put him on blast for a minute, would be like talking shit on his like 5th graders and being like, yeah, this kid I think he's gay. He's so effeminate. And he came in with a Victoria's Secret bag. That made me feel like I could never, ever express those things. And it was just reinforced by everybody else. So flowers were an escape for me because my dad did love gardening. And I got to see the color of like the zinnias, the azaleas were like my favorite growing up. We had a lot of azalea bushes, and just seeing the color of like the poppies, the sunflowers. I'm a flower boy, and I always will be.
Tell us about how you built confidence with displaying the feminine parts of yourself.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with unlearning. So much unlearning. And just realizing that like all of this stuff that's like gendered, it's all societal. I was at a bachelor party and I was texting you because they were like, they're having cigars and talking about the NBA. I'm so out of my element. I don't want to be here anymore. And I'm so grateful that like Hannah, you have encouraged me so much. Other people in my life have also encouraged me to be more expressive.
Yeah, use your free will.
And it's not just, effeminate traits. There's things about myself that are more masculine as well. And I'm in touch with both of those sides, and I'm proud of it now.
Is music criticism a dying art form?
I mean, yeah, overall, it's definitely on the decline. But I can see why, and even myself included, I have been toxic in those discourse discussions. I have been a part of that problem, and I think that a lot of people have been turned off by just the idea of like music critics in general, because they automatically think something like Pitchfork, who are eternally giving something a 6.8. Over time, it's kind of just eroded people's trust in it, because I think so many people have listened to things for themselves at this point and they're just like, hey, Like, I know that I love this, and I actually don't really need to hear this super negative 15-minute video on it.
So from the times that you were a music critic making reviews, what was your favorite year of albums that you reviewed?
I had to go back and look through the playlist for this one because there were some years it's like, oh my God, I reviewed 140 albums that year. What the hell is wrong with me? How could anybody ever enjoy all of these albums? And the true answer is you can't. But I would probably say 2019 was my peak in terms of reviews. I had gotten better and more skilled, I guess, at like the edits and how I wanted to present myself and talk on camera and explain how I felt about albums.
So this next viewer has been a fan of you for 10 years.
Wild.
And they relate to you because they were also bullied in school for their music taste, for liking things like Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift. And as a gay man, they're very happy to see a straight man loving this kind of music and not caring what anyone thinks. So thank you for that.
I've never understood the idea of being like, oh my God, this music's for girls, this music's for boys. In high school, Lady Gaga is the artist that absolutely got me the most shit. And especially in the Christian circles, there were a lot of jokes about her being trans or having a penis, and that's what I got every single time. I was like, I love Just Dance, or I'm really into this album, The Fame Monster.
So they also want to know, how would you rank Gaga's albums from your favorite to least favorite?
Okay, we're talking about ranked and changing opinions, right? Let's start. Joanne, massively misunderstood album. A fucking fantastic album. 2, The Fame Monster. 3, the newest album, Mayhem. 4, Art Pop, overhated, underrated. Number 5, Born This Way, overrated. And 6, Chromatica, not a bad album, but just not very interesting.
When it comes to albums, do you think production or songwriting matters more?
Songwriting. It's got to be songwriting, because without that, without the song structure, like vocal harmonies, like instrumentalists, you really don't have anything if you don't have the song itself. So I think things like production can be touched up later, right? Like we can give an album a remaster if we still have the stems and everything. If the OG song sucks at its core, the production really isn't going to move the needle very much.
What inspires you to keep discovering new music?
It's tough. It's tough to keep going sometimes. And I think, you know, over the years, I a lot of time, like I said, felt forced kind of by myself to check out new music. But now it's just always this burning curiosity that I have. I love finding new things. Like the YouTube recommendations, honestly, are so fire. Half the time I'm coming away with like, oh my God, like I had no idea that this artist even existed. And it's not just new artists, it's like older shoegaze bands like that I may have never heard of before, like Honeydew. And seeing that side of the coin has really just brought me back to a place of discovery. So how do I stay inspired? I stay curious, I guess.
Someone remembers that you had a pretty strong hatred for DJ Mustard in the mid-2010s. Do you still hate him?
No, I don't hate DJ Mustard. This is the man that produced Not Like Us.
What are your favorite memories of watching Fuse?
So many amazing memories of watching Fuse. If I had to boil it down into just one feeling, it was just the idea of sitting in front of the couch. You just got out of school, your parents aren't home yet, and the TV's on. You just saw the Green Day video, and right after that, they played a video from this new band, Death Cab for Cutie, that you've never heard of before, but you're already in love. Fuse was like an all-day, everyday when I could really sneak in and do that, because I didn't get to have a TV in my room.
Would you ever do a favorite songs of all time list?
Yes, and I'm going to this year. The list has changed a little bit since I put it together last year. I was initially going to release it last year, but I'm so glad I didn't.
What is your favorite and most hated movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time? Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Come on now. Ramona Flowers, iconic. Also, most hated movie of all time?
Yes.
I guess for me personally, Halloween Ends comes to mind, because you and I are both such huge Halloween fans, and
yeah, it was a little disappointing.
It was more than disappointing. I fucking hate that movie, bro. What happened? Michael Myers isn't even there. Who's Corey? Who cares? 1 star.
What's a genre of music that you love that people wouldn't expect?
Maybe hyperpop I've gotten a lot more into. I mean, there's stuff that I play that I know drives you absolutely insane.
How did you like Resident Evil 9? And where would you slot it in your ranking?
Well, I have not finished the game yet, unfortunately.
Because you're a slow poke.
Yeah, I'm a slow poke, and also I did buy the game then it came out literally right as I was relaunching YouTube and everything, so I haven't had as much time to play, but I love it. I love it so far. You've watched me play some you said it was enjoyable just to watch. You know, it's a lot of fun, and I love playing as both Grace Ashcroft and Leon S. Kennedy. I got that motherfucker right here at all times. He's got my 6, not Ivan Moody.
MCR5, real or fake? I'm low-key getting annoyed with their mysterious teasing.
Real, but they're blackballing us. They're literally they're like, oh, the Paper Kingdom, it might exist, or maybe it's something completely new. Maybe it's some Foundations of Decay shit.
My new rule for this is to just not get excited until there's actually a song or album.
Right, and unless Joe Jonas is talking about it, I'm not gonna believe it.
What has helped you recently to improve your mental health and stay grounded?
Slowing down and repeating that to myself out loud, and repeating other little mantras that I'm not going to say here because it's more personal stuff, but just repeating little mantras to myself and out loud, and even writing things down.
What was your first contact with punk music? Was it through Green Day? What changed in your music taste after that event?
It was actually not Green Day. Green Day was the first band that I fell in love with, but it was a year or two after this. It was the NASCAR Thunder 2004 soundtrack. Again, shout out to my West Coast aunt who can go fuck herself other than this, because she introduced me to Rancid, Iggy Pop from the Stooges, Sum 41, Little Know-It-All, Andrew WK.
Is there an artist besides Falling in Reverse, Simple Plan, and 6ix9ine that you hate with a burning passion?
Well, all of them, for sure. No, not Simple Plan. They seem like super nice dudes. Not them. I hate Nicki Minaj, both the artist and especially the person.
If there was one band that broke up that you wanted to reunite, which would it be?
Well, I would say Talking Heads, but, even if we throw $80 million at David Byrne, apparently that's not going to happen. I mean, it's nice to see them appear all together again, but I don't think they're ever going to play together again, so I would have to say, Talking Heads would be the fantasy.
If you had a superpower, whether you would use it to fight crime or for quality of life, what would it be?
Invisibility. 100,000%.
I agree.
I was about to say, would you not agree? That shit would be
so many advantages.
Oh, that would calm my anxiety. You could go in public and it not be a thing. You could go to a concert and it's not a big thing. Now, obviously, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, you're just invisible, standing a foot away from the singer.
Right, I'm just right in their face.
On stage.
I'm just man, this Wolf Alice concert's great.
Any current trends in music that you'd like to see more of or go away?
I was telling you recently that I've liked this trend, even though I fucking loathe TikTok. I think that social platforms like that have been responsible for a lot of older songs going viral again. And I know I was talking about Coldplay earlier, but it was cool to see Sparks get that burst. It's a great song. I think Let Down by Radiohead. Some of these older tracks, even from Zara Larsson in 2016, entering the top 40 a decade after they came out. I think that's pretty cool. So I like that for trends that I would like to see more of. What I would like to see less of is just the get to the hook immediately. Just the idea of condensing everything now, cutting out the bridge. That shit's gotta stay. It doesn't gotta go. It's gotta stay. It's gotta come back.
Do you like anime? And if so, top 5.
I'm not really the biggest anime fan in terms of episodic content or series. I've tried to get into several before, JJK, and even in the past, Full Metal Alchemist. I love things about those shows, but I can give you a top 5 anime films instead. No particular order. Let's go Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, to stick with the Ghibli ones there, obviously. I'm not the most expansive taste out there, but also Perfect Blue and Your Name. That movie shook me to my core. It was so beautiful.
If you were a sound, what would you be and why?
I'm feeling like a little Reznor synth, It's pretty, but it's also very confrontational. I guess you could say it's got teeth.
Do the Beach Boys mean anything to you?
I mean, it was only my first ever CD, something that I was actually allowed to listen to. The Beach Boys do mean a lot to me. Rest in peace, Brian Wilson. And I just really developed an appreciation for things like harmonies and melody through them.
How do you decide what to listen to when nothing's really hitting the spot?
That's a really good question, because I talked about this a little in my Spotify tour video, but I think it's important to make mood mixes for yourself, because you're always going to be in a different mood, right? Like if we look over at my Spotify, I have like acoustic playlist, I've got like sad songs, I've got cheer up songs, I've got country songs, I've got a loud, fast, and heavy playlist.
All right, we are going to end on this question from, well, it's actually multiple questions. Have you added any new artists to your playlist since you've been gone?
Since you've been gone. A lot, really. Like, it depends on what you qualify as me being gone. I feel like I've been gone, like, mentally from YouTube. I had been throughout, like, 2024 and all of 2025, for sure. But in that time, I discovered a lot of stuff, like I was talking about, through YouTube recommendations. A lot of bands on there that we found that we just absolutely fell in love with, from Twin to Grocery Bag to Soft Cult. There's been a ton. She's Green is a huge one of my absolute favorites right now. I've gone down a big shoegaze rabbit hole and have been making a big shoegaze playlist. Go check out my best of 2026 playlist. It's linked in the description if you want to find even more. All right, that's what we're gonna answer in this video. I know we couldn't get to every single question, but we got to as many as we could. Thank you guys for tuning in. I thought this would be a good way to reintroduce myself to you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on the video, add some hype to it, subscribe to the channel if you happen to be new around here, and I'll see you soon.